Everyone, how are we doing today? Well, I was up early, watched watched the Open on CNBC, watched the circuit breakers kick in when stocks traded down 7%. I think that was on the S&P. Actually took a picture of it. I'll probably use that for my I don't know what you call it, thumbnail. I usually have a big long list of things to talk about today or during these sessions, but today's really about being calm, not trading, not really doing much into the whirlwind of activity. I think there's a lot of sort of macro things going on at the same time. I'm still convinced that this will create amazing buying opportunities once this all settles. I don't think I'd be in a rush to trade anything at this point. But, man, I mean, where do you start, right? Oil. What do you do with oil, right? You sort of look at it and you go, wow, 30% drop. It's in the 20s now. What does that mean? Well, on one end, um, as I said yesterday, and I've said for a couple of days now, oil at that level is going to hurt some businesses, particularly fracking, hard, right? Any research I've done on fracking is most of them, it's $75 a barrel to get it out of the ground. So what do you do when prices are sub 30? Well, you either keep producing and go bankrupt or you stop. I mean, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure there's any other option. So there will be some impact. But predominantly, oil for the majority of the U.S. population, the majority of U.S. businesses, oil sub $30 a barrel is a gift. It's a gift. Um, it's a component of so many things that we consume. So again, oil sub 30 is it's a good thing. When you look at the macro players, you really have a battle between, near as I can tell, Russia and Saudi Arabia. It makes me wonder what will happen in their economies if this goes on for any real length of time. Real length of time being 4, 5, 6 months. My suspicion is is it's almost like they're playing Russian roulette together. I think eventually there will be some kind of realization that demand has really been hit. This is a demand problem, and pumping millions of more barrels out of the ground doesn't help anyone, right? But again, right, when you look at oil sub 30, you know, it's a big part of inflation. It's now clearly deflation. Um, so, eventually when things settle out, I think it'll be interesting to look at what industries are heavy oil consumers. And they've been given a tax break, frankly. So, uh, oil is scary. Anytime you see any kind of asset class down 30% in a day, it's got to give you pause, right? You're like, what fundamentally changed from Friday to Monday? So there's that. Uh, the flight to safety in U.S. bonds is frightening. I've been talking about this for a week. That is something that I am paying attention to because, yes, as a real estate investor, mortgage rates are about to get cheaper. I don't know how much cheaper they can get just given the cost of executing, but they'll probably get cheaper. But again, banking, which is a decent sized part of the U.S. economy, is it's going to be harder to do, harder to be profitable, harder to keep employees. I mean, it's going to be harder to do their thing. So that's interesting to watch happen. Then there are kind of the small businesses, and that's something that I don't think we've talked about enough. Again, I live in the Silicon Valley, and it is very clear. I live in Mountain View, so there's a popular street called Castro. It's mainly restaurants and coffee shops and stuff like that. It is generally busy every evening, every lunch, and the weekends are just packed, right? Going by there this weekend, it felt like we were there at 6 a.m. There was like nobody around. So again, consumer behavior is changing, right? You can argue that this virus is nothing and don't worry about it, but you're arguing the wrong point. Consumer behavior is changing, and that's what we should be watching for, right? And what I worry about is all those businesses, right? Mountain View, those lease payments, the space that those tenants, those small businesses have to be expensive. I mean, I don't know what they are, but they're not cheap. And I just wonder how long they can go with, I don't know, 20, 25, 30% traffic than they used to get. Not many small businesses can take a hit of 2 months, 3 months. So one idea that I've just started here floating around is there's got to be an injection of zero interest rate loans to small businesses to keep the doors open. And that we might get to that level, right? Again, Castro Street normally very, very busy. Businesses very busy. It's people are out and about. And see, I knew this was coming. Thank you for that, Hector. I don't know if you can see that thought bubble that just came across or comment bubble, but I have been proposing that I wanted real estate agents to tell me what's going on at open houses. And Hector just let us know that this was the first weekend they were slower. And as expected, some of his buyers that had lined up ready to take action have decided to hold off. Folks, this is playing out exactly how I told you it would. People are getting scared and they're going to conserve. It's the same thing that happened in 2010. How many people call me lucky because I was brave enough to take action and buy everything I could in this book, one rental at a time, in 2010? I see another opportunity. Probably, well, hopefully not to the level that 2010 was, because this is not a real estate thing, right? It's not a lending thing. This is a demand thing. So there's just not going to be as much inventory. But if enough buyers decide to push, we are going to get a great opportunity to add assets. So, I mean, you need to learn your market. You need to do your homework. You need to spend March learning your market, knowing what a good deal is. And then let's make a deal together. Let's only write offers that return a great yield. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I hate doing this, but go down below and look at the course because it will help you build confidence and take action. The reason I could take action in 2010 is because I knew I was buying great deals. Everything I was buying was a 12 to 15% yield in a market that today, or at least last week, was a 6% market. It's pretty easy to have confidence and write those offers. And as Hector just highlighted, we are already starting to see home ownership or the owner-occupant buyer back off. And again, that is great news for us as investors. We are going to get a gift. If you were watching this channel back in early January, yeah, exactly. I totally agree. Again, one of the comment bubbles is very cool. Awesome. I'm glad you like the audiobook. Remember, you have to give me a 5-star review. That would be wonderful. So again, this is going to be a great opportunity to add assets. This is going to be a chance to buy some great stuff and be confident in yourself. But you've got to do your homework first. Don't walk up to the roulette wheel, pick a number, and just hope and pray, right? To one of the comments that came through, yeah, I totally agree. This is going to be a great opportunity to be creative. there will be some cash-strapped people who need to sell. If you were watching, when did we do that? It must have been Saturday. We put out a video about a house that the hub produced and is already sold. But that individual was running a business and he needed cash. There will be people that have to sell. And when people have to sell and all the demand disappears, it's easier to see. And that's what I've been telling you is coming. That's why you got to do your homework, figure out what the market is doing, because it will become, it'll be like it's screaming to you to write an offer. And oh, by the way, you can write for less than asking. Investors are going to get a chance to buy stuff from truly motivated sellers. The hardest person to find in a hot real estate market is the motivated seller, because they get hidden in all the inventory and transactions. But you strip away 50% of owner occupant buyers, those motivated sellers become easy to find. That is what is in front of us. Become April, May, June, they're going to be screaming at you. But if you don't do your homework and learn your market, you're going to miss. You're going to sit on your cash. You're going to tell me in 2022 or 2023, oh, you got lucky again. I didn't get freaking lucky. I've been doing this every freaking day for almost 20 years. I know when the market is just giving stuff away. Yes. Yes. Creative financing, seller financing, there will be subject to opportunities. I will have more rental units by August than I do today. I'm going to add as many as I can. If I can get 10 great houses, I'll do it, because houses are easiest to buy, biggest. I mean, again, I keep telling you, today is scary. There are segments of the market that are taking a huge hit, but this will pass. If it takes 3 quarters, who cares? If we can survive 9/11, if we can survive the 2008 financial crisis, if we can survive World War II, the American economy is robust. Don't be afraid. Now, if you're trading on margin, you have ETFs that are 3x or 4x up or down. Gambling. That, if you had a 3x technology upside in an environment that I've been telling you for a week now, sales reps are telling me their pipelines are broken. Dude, that might be a tough pill to swallow. Will it come back? Absolutely. But can you hold on long enough? I don't know. Right? It's pretty ugly out there. And again, I don't think tech, right? The industry that I know the best from my W-2 days, I don't think tech has seen pain yet. I don't think tech, has seen pain. I have sales reps that I've known for decades that are $1 million producers that are telling me they've never seen anything like this. And I've known these people during 9/11. I've known these people in the 2008 crisis. I've lived through, a time where pipelines blew up. So I can tell you it's happening, and it's happening around the world. So technology companies are going to come out with pre-announcements. It's going to happen. But right now their sales reps are lying to them and saying their pipeline's fine. I can hear the forecast calls already. Oh yeah, don't worry about me. My buyer is good because, oh, by the way, I had this meeting and that meeting. They didn't have no freaking meeting. They can't even go see their clients. Nobody's there. Man, you guys don't see this drop in tech. You're not paying attention. Good. Awesome. This is the time, man. Thank you for reading my book. Please leave me a review. I'm a sub-published guy. We're trying to get to 150 reviews on Amazon. I need some help. Anybody read my book, please do me a favor. I do these videos for you for free. Give me 30 seconds and leave a review. But again, the point of this video is today is scary. It's okay. We'll get through it. In fact, some of you will be calm enough to make some investments. I think there's still some pain ahead in different segments, right? I think oil has clearly got its time. I think travel is in many respects gotten theirs. I think banking is getting theirs right now. I think um, tech scares me to death. I'm afraid I'll wake up one day and like 5 tech companies will have pre-announcements and it'll just whack 10 or 15% off tech. It could happen, and that will affect the Bay Area housing and so many other things that I told you was coming. So again, I wouldn't be buying a house in a hot market, which means like Manhattan, Bay Area, Orange County. But again, if you're buying an investment property and you've done your homework and you have confidence, and your market used to be 6% last week and you can go get a 9 or 10% today because you found a motivated seller, go get it. Feel good about it. Would I use my last dollar and take my savings to zero? No. If you've not known anything about us, we're extremely conservative, so don't do that. But again, you have an opportunity here to learn your market. Oh, how will commercial and multifamily fare? There's a good question. So I put out a video Saturday morning. No, I don't have any knowledge of Dallas. The only market I know with any level of detail is the one I invest in and talk about in my book, Fresno, California. But let's talk about multifamily. I believe multifamily is overpriced. And if you watch this channel, I've been saying that pretty consistently for 2 or 3 months. And I told you I sold apartment buildings and raised my cash balance because I think multifamily is overpriced. I think it is. And the people that are buying now are lying to themselves. They're saying, oh God, I'm glad I'm not in stocks because my rent's due and everybody's paying. I invested in apartments in a recession. People will stop paying rent. Now, will that last forever? No. But if you own a bunch of multifamily in the oil patch, you're screwed. You're screwed. The oil drillers or mechanics or whatever running rigs, if your tenants are heavy in oil, half of them could be out of work inside a month, right? It takes $75 to get it out, and oil's at 30. You're done. If you have multifamily that is filled with people in retail and hotel and travel, you could be in trouble. You could be in trouble, right? This whole idea that multifamily does good in a recession is a joke. I've tried to demystify that. It makes good sense on social media. It makes the people doing these syndications feel good. Yeah, of course he is. Yeah, Grant Cardone is buying huge multifamily under 5% with other people's money. Of course he is. He gets paid to do that. I mean, I don't know his structure exactly, but he has to deploy the money to get paid. So, of course he is. I mean, he's got to fund that lifestyle somehow. Private jets aren't easy to pay for, and cars and watches and all that stuff. Of course he is. So in the end, this video is really meant to tell you to be calm. This will pass. It'll be a nothing in a year. Watch your cash balances, expenses. Sure he does. And we'll see if he does going forward. I don't know. We'll see if he keeps paying. But in the end, learn your market, do your deals, do your due diligence. I'll say what I'm going to do. I know I will buy some great deals going forward because owner occupants, as I think it was Hector said, is they're going away. I love investing in a market where my freaking owner occupants can't buy or aren't buying with 3.5% down. They can just flat out overpay. So in the end, I'm excited about what's coming. I am excited, literally excited. And I'm buying a property. I'm wiring money today on a great deal. So I'm still doing deals. I'm just going to do better deals. That's it. And I can say that with confidence because I've learned my market. I'm doing deals. I promise you, I will be more active between now and July than I was last year, January to July, because I am not afraid. I know my market. I will do great deals only. But if you don't do your homework, I think you're gambling. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, Go look at my investor videos. I think it's called student videos, some kind of playlist, or check out the list of the course, because again, this is going to be a great time, and I think it'll be a relatively small window. All right, everybody, have fun, be calm. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Take care. Bye.